K Black in the building, man, and I'm back with another video, man. First and foremost, shout out to my brother Blue Blood Sports TV. If you're not subscribed to the brother, subscribe to him, man. You know, he just did a interview with Hearn, discussing a different array of topics. You know, man, you gotta give the LWC props, man. When we be doing these interviews, man, whether it's the brother Blue Blood Sports, whether it's the brother Coach, Ticket TV, 78 Sports TV, Town Business, Black Fight Fan TV, the Cali Enigma, and many other brothers, along with our affiliates, man, the brother Barbershop Conversation, and many other people that have done interviews with these fighters, man. You gotta give props when it's due. And that's what I'm doing right now. You know, you can go on Blue Blood Sports TV and watch the interview in its entirety. He asked him questions about Dillian White, who tried to downplay Deontay Wilder's victory over Luis Ortiz. Said he basically fought an old man. So he asked Eddie why Dillian White is not trying to fight Luis Ortiz. And Eddie explained, he said, well, if we would have made that fight a mandatory for Deontay Wilder's belt, he would have fought him. He said, but WBC is basically saying it's going to take like 2 years for Dillian White to fight Wilder. So he moved on, and he said, well, you know, and plus he's in line to fight Anthony Joshua in April. And we all know that. You know, we already know that's the plan. And he said he basically probably playing a tough fight to match Dillian White with Chisora in the meantime. So he also asked him, you know, about the ticket sales for Joshua. And, you know, Eddie was basically saying, like, well, it's a 90,000 venue, you know, 90,000 seats. They sold 75,000 so far. And he said it's probably be, you know, kind of tough to sell the whole venue out, but he's gonna at least do about 80,000. And 75,000 is phenomenal. It is, even 80,000, right? But we used to seeing Anthony Joshua sell out in minutes, sometimes even seconds, seems like. So we're kind of wondering why this venue haven't sold, you know? And he also touched on the basis of saying that people really do want to see Joshua and Wilder. So some people might be holding out to see how that turns out. And he also asked them about Anthony Joshua's stock being rise by beating Povetkin or by fighting Povetkin. And he stated that, like where you said, that who's Deontay Wilder's going to fight to make his stock rise. And he said Tyson Fury is a good opponent for Deontay Wilder. He said also, but he doubt that the fight is going to happen. He said it's a good fight. He said, but he don't believe that Tyson Fury is ready, and he don't think the fight is going to happen. And he also asked him, he said, well, you know, well, basically Blue Blood basically say, like, well, some people may think that you don't want it to happen. And he says, like, well, he's not a madman. He's going to say sit at home, you know, thinking about plots or thinking about, you know, things like, hey, I don't want this particular thing to happen and shit like that. He said, because if he do beat Tyson Fury, he said, of course, the fight between Wilder and Joshua magnifies by like 3 to 4, even 5 times and make the event way bigger. I had to step away for a second, man. But anyway, the main question he asked in the grand finale, if you ask me, he basically said, like, well, if he were to be, you know, Tyson Fury since he's the lineal champion, would this put, you know, Deontay Wilder on the A side, basically in the driver's seat? And at first, he, you know, Eddie Hearn was like said certainly. Then he kind of rephrased, like, well, this depends how the pay-per-view sales do. He said he believes it's going to be big, but he said it all depends how the pay-per-view sales do. And he also asked him, you know, would you give Deontay Wilder 50-50 and step away from that $50 million guaranteed? And he said, well, he said no at first. You know, when it comes to Eddie Hearn, he be talking in circles. So you take one thing and say another. He said no at first. He said, but he said I might step away from the $15 million and the 50-50. It just depends how the pay-per-view does. But he definitely do doubt the fight's going to happen. They just don't believe Tyson Fury is ready. He said if he had a couple maybe tune-ups or something like that, then he might be ready. He said, but evidently he must be getting a massive payday for the fight to happen. And it is what it is, man. Like I said, you can go to Blue Blood Sports TV. He asked some more questions. This is just a couple of topics that I wanted to touch bases on, man. I just want to shout the brother Blue Blood Sports TV out, man, because the brother be working, man. You know, you got to give credit where it's credit due. And this is what I do, you know what I mean? It's K Black in the building, man. Like, comment, subscribe. And, yeah, man. Also, you know me, I like to shout people out. And not only that, you know what I mean? Subscribe to the brother, Best Fight the Best boxing channel, man. You know, he's an up-and-coming YouTuber. He got good content, man. You know, shout out to the whole LDBC. Like, comment, subscribe.